Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Steve's Film Vault. Right at the moment, we are traveling north to Mammoth Lakes, California, and we're going to be doing a special edition of Steve's Film Vault where we are going to be taking everything that we've learned up to this point, kind of putting it all together, and at the same time learning some tricks and tips of composition. So we're going to be learning and talking about the rule of thirds, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden spiral, and so on, and how this will make your pictures even better once you understand how the camera itself works. So hope you enjoy this episode, and we're going to travel for a little bit, and next thing you know, we're going to be in Mammoth. Okay, we are out here in the backcountry of Mammoth Lakes doing the Devil's Post Pile hike down through Red's Meadow, and a lot of great opportunities for photos. As you see Don behind me still snapping away. Anyways, we're going to be talking a lot about different methods of composition. One of the most common is the rule of thirds. The examples I'm going to be showing you, it's as if you had a tic-tac-toe grid in your camera. In fact, some of your cameras, if you look into the settings portion, it will have grids. One of the grids looks like a tic-tac-toe grid, and that's to be able to use the rule of thirds. The important points in a rule of thirds is where the lines intersect and also the lines themselves. So the most important thing within your image should be at the intersection, but you also want to split the picture up between the lines. Another is commonly used in practice is using natural items within your surroundings as a frame. So in and among the pine trees, a lot of times it's really nice to use pine trees to be able to frame up whatever you want to be taking the picture of behind it. Also, like I said, we're taking the opportunity to really play with everything we've learned so far. The portrait mode allows you to go ahead and get an image of a person and have the background slightly blurry because you're having a shallower depth of field. The close-up view, as in the pine cone that I have here, really accentuates the pine cone in close-up and totally blurs out everything in the background. A lot of the stuff that I'm shooting today, however, is shooting in the landscape mode, because there's such beautiful landscapes out here, such great opportunities to take pictures of nature and rock formations and trees and rivers and lakes that you really want to be able to see everything clearly. Now, one technique we had not talked about previously, but we'll talk about now, the shot of the San Joaquin River flowing behind the trees. Every time I tried to take the picture, the camera would do a general focus. And what would happen then is that I would not have a really clear focus of the river itself, which was my focal point. So what I would do is I would look for something that was fairly far away, push the trigger halfway down so it would focus, and not let go of the trigger, and then move to the shot that I actually want to take. And when I did that, the San Joaquin River wasn't focused that time. So it's a playing with the focus where you actually set the focus on something else and then move it to the actual shot that you're planning on taking. We're going to keep walking around, but I'm going to flip the camera around here in a minute so you can see the view that I see. And this is Devil's Post Pile. I've got plenty of photos of this, but what a beautiful day to be out here hiking. We're going to go ahead and continue the hike now. So next stop will be Red's Meadow. Oh, those clouds, awesome. Yeah, these amazing clouds. Okay, one other thing I wanted to bring up too in composition And that's something that's known as the Fibonacci sequence, or the golden spiral. I'm going to be explaining that in depth from a different location right about now. Leonardo Fibonacci was a 12th century Italian mathematician from Pisa that came up with a sequence of numbers. The numbers can be graphed out in geometric squares. And the numbers basically go, the first two numbers, 1 plus 1, would then equal 2. You would then take the first number, add it to the second number, and that would then give you the third number. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then the previous number, 2 plus 3, is 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 5, 13, and so on. If you graph a spiral connecting the dots, you basically get a spiral that is seen throughout nature. And this is known as the Fibonacci sequence and also as the golden spiral. So as we talk about the Fibonacci rule as we're taking pictures, if we take a shot just straight on with our subjects right smack dab in the center, it's interesting, but it's not that interesting. If we take into consideration rule of thirds, and if you're thinking about Fibonacci at the time and try to see if you can set that shot up, like I did with the Devil's Post pile in the clouds, that is going to give you a very interesting look. Looking at that spiral as it comes into the image, and it leads your eye through the image, that's a very, very cool look to go for. And the fact that this is something found in nature, everywhere in nature, it makes it that much more powerful as something that we are visually attracted to as people. So once again, Fibonacci golden spiral is yet one more compositional tool in your toolbox. Okay, one more point I wanted to bring out. Yeah, this has been just an awesome spot to sit and watch the world go by. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. The longer you wait in one position, lighting changes, clouds change, animals come by, different settings will present itself to you. If you're patient and you wait in one location long enough, many things are happening. I mean, the sky is just getting amazing with this giant cloud that's kind of blowing through. We'll probably stay here a little bit longer and take a few more shots of this cloud as it's blowing in perfectly behind the Devil's Post pile. So like I said, don't be afraid to stick around. In fact, stick around in one position for a while. You'll get much better shots. The other thing too, as you're going through the different modes, don't forget to play with the different ambience modes. Switch between vivid and intense and cool and all the different ones to see which one works best for you. So yeah, I'm going to take a few more right now, so I'm going to sign off for a second because this cloud is really getting dynamic. And one more point that I want to make as you're out and about and doing both street photography and nature photography, look at your subject from all angles, from high up, from down low. Use your imagination. What could possibly be an interesting shot? An old stump can be very interesting. A column from the post pile at the right angle could look very interesting. And if you just walk by and take a couple snapshots like most people would, what winds up happening is you're missing some of the best shots that are out there. So take the time, walk around, and really enjoy the moment and spend time in each place and to get the best possible shots you can possibly get. And that's my tip number, what would that be, 5, 6, 7, or 8? I don't know, I lost track. But yeah, when you're out and about, take the time. Thank you for joining me on this very special edition of Steve's Film Vaults. This is it for this episode. Remember that if you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video. If you want to see more and get notifications, be sure to hit the little bell and you will be notified every time a new video is posted. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video.